Hello, I'm back. And what I'm about to tell you isn't a ghost story. It's worse. Ghosts only haunt you after death. But this evil begins while you're still alive, sleeping under the same roof, eating at the same table. A home should be a sanctuary, a place where parents and children breathe in love. But in these stories, the home rotted into a dungeon. The dining table turned into an altar of betrayal, and the hands that should have offered hugs became blood-soaked weapons. These are children who did not inherit innocence, but damnation. They didn't grow into adults. They grew into monsters, carving open the very womb that gave them life. This isn't just murder. It's the devil crawling into the family tree, poisoning the roots until blood becomes the only fruit. So keep watching, if you dare. Because once you see what lurks behind these family doors, you'll never look at your own house the same way again. And maybe, just maybe, you'll start to wonder who really sits across from you in the dark. Do you like traveling? Comment below and let me know. Of course, I already know the answer. Everyone dreams of escaping to some paradise, especially with family by their side. The first story I bring you tonight begins with that dream. A family's long-awaited trip to Bali, a place so many call heaven on earth. But heaven, as you'll soon see, can peel away its mask to reveal something far more sinister. Their dream vacation shattered in an instant, transforming into a living hell. One filled with screams, blood, and despair clawing at the walls. What happened inside that so-called paradise? You're dying to know, aren't you? But before we uncover the nightmare, hit like, share, and subscribe. Because if you don't, I cannot promise you'll remain as safe as you are right now. The story begins in...
She went on holiday with her mum to Bali. Only one of them came back, and the other was found folded inside a suitcase. Heather Mack was just 18 when she flew to Bali with her wealthy mother, Sheila von Wieser Mack. They checked into a 5-star resort, like any other mother-daughter trip. But Heather had a plan. She and her boyfriend, Tommy Schaefer, argued with her mum about money and control. That night, Heather gave the signal. Tommy beat Sheila to death in their hotel room, then stuffed her body inside a suitcase. They left the case in a taxi and walked off like nothing happened. When the driver got suspicious and opened it, what he found sent shock across the island. Both were arrested. Heather was sentenced to 10 years in a Bali prison. She gave birth to her daughter behind bars. Tommy got 18 years. In 2021, Heather was released early and deported to the US. But the story didn't end there. She was arrested again on US soil for conspiracy to commit murder. Now she faces a possible life sentence again. She thought she could walk free, but justice has a long memory and a longer reach.
The paradise of Bali became nothing more than a stage for hell itself. What should have been a dream vacation turned into a nightmare drenched in blood. A daughter and her lover didn't just kill a mother. They erased her humanity over scraps of money, reducing her life to something disposable. Her body wasn't honored, wasn't even hidden with dignity. It was crammed into a suitcase. That suitcase became a coffin on wheels, rolled through the gleaming halls of a 5-star hotel as if death could be disguised as luggage. Guests passed by with smiles, never knowing that inside that box wasn't clothing, but the stench of betrayal and decay. And the daughter? She wasn't a grieving child. She was a demon in disguise, wearing the mask of family but carrying the heart of a predator. She showed no remorse, no shame, only the cold satisfaction of a monster that devoured its own blood. She and her boyfriend may now rot behind prison walls. But remember, time can cage the body, yet the crime lingers like a scar carved into the soul of humanity. Their punishment doesn't erase the horror. It only reminds us that monsters walk among us, hidden behind familiar faces, waiting for the next moment to strike. And make no mistake, the darkness doesn't sleep. Even as we speak, new demons are being born, raised, and fed within families who never suspect a thing. Which brings us to our next story, one that drips with even greater cruelty. A family spent 17 years raising not a son, but a beast wearing the mask of a child. They never knew. They never suspected. Because this demon was an actor of the highest order, until his hunger for blood grew too wild to hide. And the price of this truth? The slaughter of his own parents. 2 lives extinguished by the very hands they once guided. Before we begin, check your doors, check your locks. Because when demons finally reveal themselves, they don't knock. They break in.
This teenager was arrested for killing his mother, months after being released from prison for killing his father. 17-year-old Colin Griffith had moved in with his mother, Catherine Griffith, after she posted his bond at an Oklahoma prison where he was serving time for killing his father, Charles Griffith. He had claimed self-defense in that case, asserting that his father pulled a knife on him before chasing and cornering him. Authorities had no way of proving this was not true, so he was released on bond. Colin's life with his mother got off to a bad start when he was arrested after attacking her for trying to take away his video games. The teen was released the next day, but authorities claimed that he repeatedly threatened to kill his mother. On September 8, 2024, Colin called the police saying his mother fell on a knife during an argument and died. When police arrived, witnesses said they saw him dragging his mother out of the house by her hair, and a medical examiner concluded that it could not have been an accident due to the multiple stab wounds. When Colin was arrested, police said he showed no remorse or emotion despite killing both of his parents. If he is found guilty, what do you think his sentence should be? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
He once fooled the world, escaping justice after his father's death by twisting the truth and painting himself as the victim. But monsters cannot wear masks forever. When his mother dared to take away the one thing he worshipped, his video games, the demon inside him clawed its way out once again. This time, no excuses could hide the horror. Witnesses saw it all. The hair pulled, the lifeless body dragged like discarded trash, and the blade that cut not just flesh, but the very bond between mother and son. This wasn't the act of a troubled child. This was a demon wrapped in human skin, a heart as hollow as a crypt, colder than stone. He had already stolen his father's life, and now, with blood still fresh on his hands, he silenced his mother too. And yet, he showed no remorse. Not a flicker of regret. Only emptiness. Like death itself had taken residence inside his chest. There are many roads we must walk ourselves to learn whether they are smooth or paved with stones. But he will never have the chance to take another step. His body will rot away behind bars. He will never again see light. The price he pays for stealing his parents' last chance to live. The next story will take you to the summit of cruelty. Before you sink into that black world, make sure you've hit like and shared this video. If you don't, I can't promise you'll be as safe as you are right now. You have 3 seconds to protect your life. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I want to ask you, do you look forward to your 18th birthday? I don't even need to guess. Most of you will say yes. The demon in our next tale also counted the days to that age. But instead of receiving a gift from her father, she decided to give him a gift he would never forget. A gift called death.
What type of daughter kills her own father because he refused to drive her to the hair salon? That's exactly what this teenager would do, and now, according to an appeals court, just a year of jail time is justice for her crime. The now 21-year-old Megan Amirowicz was just 18 at the time of her father's death. She was found guilty of using harmful devices/irritants to cause death. Megan was upset with her father, 64-year-old Conrad Amirowicz, because he was drunk and unable to drive her to the hair appointment that she had scheduled just in time for her 18th birthday party. So, Megan threw lye on her father while he lay sleeping. Lye is a chemical drain cleaner that is often used to speed up the decomposition process in bodies. Once the lye was thrown on him, she left her father asleep on the couch. And it was actually one of Megan's friends who would later call 911 after seeing Conrad on the couch suffering from severe injuries. Once taken to the hospital, it was noted that Conrad suffered severe burns all over his body. He needed a tracheotomy, kidney dialysis, and had both of his legs amputated before eventually passing away 5 months later. Megan was sentenced to just a year in jail, but was credited for the 17 months that she had already served while awaiting her trial, and was immediately released even though the minimum term guidelines called for at least 4 years served. In court, she told prosecutors that her father was her best friend.
This demon was unlike any I've told you about before. Its actions seemed simple, yet they were the most merciless of all. It did not deliver pain in an instant. Instead, it let agony seep in slowly, drop by drop. Every drop of lye was like an invisible blade, slicing deep into the father's flesh. And the demon savored that suffering, feeding on his torment with twisted joy and satisfaction. In court, she appeared remorseful, pretending to regret what she had done. But was that remorse? Or was it just another performance? After all, she had been deceiving everyone for nearly 18 years, hiding her true self behind a mask. Can we really believe her now? No, for demons like her still walk among us, silent and disguised. Do you dare say your eyes are sharp enough to see through the mask of evil? Not everyone is born with that ability, but if you train yourself, you can learn to master it. That's why I will keep bringing you these stories, to sharpen your senses, to prepare you for the truth that lurks in the shadows. So hit like, share, and subscribe to be the first to see our newest videos. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.